I mean, if we want to be really blunt here, technically Omar could smother because I'm blocking him on all sides with blanket or with sheets. And if he has difficulty getting up and his face is in the sheets, but again, that wouldn't happen if he didn't struggle, if he would just lie down and go to sleep. But I'm at a rock and a hard place. Unless I can buy a pen that comes with a mat that fits it perfectly. That would be ideal. Even though I've already spent all this money on him. You know, if I could buy a play pen like this one, but that comes with its own mat. And that fits it perfectly. Okay? Because what I have now, he moves it around. Unless it fits perfectly, he's going to move it around and then he gets stuck on the bottom, which I witnessed. That's when I started putting the sheets around it. But no, even I knew to put the sheets around it because I knew he'd go on the sides because he's blind. But what I did was never imagine he would push everything to the side and still be trapped lying there, moving his legs so heartbreakingly. Can't get up because he had no leverage. He could get up on if he's on a sheet probably or something, but when he's on that smooth, really flimsy surface, he can't get up and he's trapped. And then he's scared. But this time, I didn't block that side good because I thought wrapping it in the blanket was going to suffice, and it didn't. And he actually got stuck on the sides, where definitely he could breathe fine because nothing was going to go on top of him, but he could break his neck just struggling. He could break his neck just struggling. And that's reality. So I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. I'm a nervous wreck over him, but it reaches a point where I'm like, all right, I'm doing the best I can. If something happens to him, it's not my fault, because it's like I can't predict it. It's like with my mom, too, the weird things she would do that I couldn't predict she was going to do until she does them, and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't have predicted that. Now I can't even think that I know I've said things before that she's done that have blown my mind. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? You know? Until she does something, I can't predict it. Same with Omar. I could come home now and he could be smothered to death. And I hope that's not the case. I hope he just settled down and went to sleep. I wasn't gone that long. I was not gone that long, but, you know. What's something my mother did that I said, you guys, I was like, oh my God, I can't predict what she's going to do. You're not going to believe what she did. I can't even think of it now. I don't think of it. You know, she puts herself in danger eating and not having liquid. She does that. I've warned her, you do not want to choke to death. I've almost choked to death more than once. It's not fun. It is not fun. And then I looked it up. It is a horrific, horrific way to die. Really, really horrific. Not even remotely. That's just a horrifying way to die, choking to death. And, and then she's sitting there lying flat on her bed, chewing gum, flat on her bed. Not plopped up like pillows, flat on her bed. And I'm like, what are you doing? I told you can't have gum in this room. I told you need to be sitting up. You can't be chewing gum laying down. I'm not just going to fall asleep. You never know if your body's going to fall asleep. You're exhausted all the time. So am I. So am I. That's why I almost swallowed a whole wad of gum and would have choked to death on it. And I was sitting up, listening to something on my computer. And I never imagined I'd fall asleep. But guess what? I'll never do it again, will I? I'll never chew that much gum again when I'm that relaxed. I was just like, I'm not going to eat anything if I'm watching comedy. Because I really almost choked to death on chicken that night when I started helplessly laughing at a comedy show. That was terrifying. I came close. That would have been the end of me. And would have died horrifically.